Hello, it's Whiskey again, and this video is Metris versus Torvo. And I've got a partner here. I just ran into this person. I was cruising around on my Metri, and I saw this other Metri in Desolate Pass, and we ended up grouping up. And when we came to Savannah to hunt, we ran into this Torvo that actually tried to hunt me, so we went ahead and fought him. And it was kind of neat. This whole interaction was really cool because I randomly met the person, and in group chat I said hi, and they said hi, and I forget the exact interaction, but it was something like, I said, "Do you play Metri much?" And he goes, "I do now since I saw your video." So I was like, "Oh, cool." And then we, played together. We weren't even in voice chat, but they had a really good sense of how to play the Metri and how to effectively hit and run attack, and so we worked together as a coordinated pair and fought this Torvo that wanted to hunt us, but we ended up hunting him. And it was a great experience where we were both coordinating our heel calls. We were both running in, get a couple bites and run out. We were trying not to let his bites stack. On the Torvo, their bite is not that bad at first, but once it stacks up 5 times, then it really starts to hurt. And it's a big difference too. I mean, it goes from taking little chips to giant chunks. And you'll see the difference, like when he hits you with a bite that's not stacked. It's just a little chip. Like you can see my health right now. I think he's bit me 5 times or something like that. But we're walking away and letting that bite cool down. And of course we've also got our heel calls. See, so he got hit there pretty good with the 5 stack. And you saw his health go from like 3/4 down to almost half. So that's what you got to avoid on the Torvos. Now with the Metri, it's not a huge deal because you always have the heel call. See there, his bites now dropping down, so the bites aren't hurting as bad anymore. They'll stack up to 5, which gives it the most damage, and then they start cooling down and the stacks go down one by one. So it'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's when he doesn't do a ton of damage. You can heal back through the 1, 2, 3 stacks, but the 5 stacks are going to be really hard to heal through. So definitely you got to try to not let those bites stack. And the strategy is to hit and run and tail ride when you can, and also try to get him to run his stamina out. See, that was a bite on my tail with a 1 stack. Doesn't hardly do any damage at all. So you can see the contrast between a 5 stack bite and just a normal bite. It's big. It's a big difference. So you got to be real patient. Just like anything on Metris, if you're fighting an apex or a sub apex, you want to be patient. You want to get in, get some bites, and get out. Basically, do damage and avoid their damage. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but it's easier said than done sometimes. You can run in, tail ride, and run out. A lot of the time, the biggest mistake people make on these is they stay in a little bit too long. And if you try to tail ride and you're trading bites, then it's best to get out and try to come in at a better angle. Because if you're trading bites with an apex, you're going to lose that fight. Now we were talking about hunting him, and that's what we were going to do, but our hunger was dangerously low, both of us. You can see where mine is right now, and it was very low. And so what I was going to do was get a critter first, but when I was putting into chat, let's get a critter first. This Torvo ended up attacking me, so we had to fight. And now we're going to have to start healing through the starvation, which is a nice thing you can do on a Metri, actually. And it happens a lot of the times when you're fighting a bigger health, apex with a lot of health. I do find myself fighting through starvation a lot of the time. On the Torvo, you don't really want to try to fight mid-tier stuff. You don't really have any way to stop them. There's no bone break. You have a slow down bite you can use, but it's easy for a mid-tier to get out of it. And when you pick a fight with something that can get away and heal, it's a big mistake, really, because you're kind of a sitting duck. Even though you have a really strong bite, we've got superior turn radius, we're faster, and we have heals. So with the bigger stuff, the way I do the fight is kind of like in rounds. I sort of think of it as like a mixed martial arts match or something, where you have rounds, and in between rounds you can go to your corner and freshen up. So for the Metri, that's basically healing. You can go and heal and get stam, while your bigger, slower opponent is standing there helpless. They can't heal and they can't run away, so they're forced to fight. And we can go and we get, the bell rings and we get to go sit in our corner, heal up, get stamina, and then come back as a fresh fighter to an apex that's been taking damage the whole time. So every time we come back in, each round we're coming in fresh, and they're still sitting there hurt. So it's a huge advantage especially for a Metri. And funny enough, it is that fighting an apex is kind of like a UFC fight. There's about 5 rounds usually that you have to go through. So the nice thing about the Metri is it is just like any mid-tier. You can, if you take some damage, you can always run away, use your speed and agility to get away from the apex or the sub-apex, and then kind of gather yourself and go back to fight. Now, other dinosaurs like conchs or ceratos, you can do that, but you don't have a heal call, so you have to usually find a place to sit down or lay down or something like that, and you kind of start getting into the realm of possibly disengaging the fight. And then you have to wait until you're fully healed up before you re-engage in the Arizona server that I play on. But on a Metri, you have a heal call, so it's not nearly as risky to do that. You can take a risk. Maybe you take some damage. You can run off and heal, get your stand back, and come back very, very quickly, because the Metri does heal every minute. So it's a much more forgiving mid-tier than any of the other mid-tiers. I try to never get below about half health on my Metri. If I get to about half, I'll take a second, take a break, go get some distance between you and the opponent, and heal up and get your stand back. That way you can take some damage without being super low. And here we're just taking turns One of us will tail ride while the other goes and heals, and vice versa. Try to get him to chase as much as possible. If he's chasing you, that's good, because they're running out of stamina. And they have their stamina call, but it only helps them a little bit, so you want to try to keep their stamina low. Just gives them another thing to think about. And I try to run in, get some damage, and run out, and sort of like toggle my sprint. If you stay in sprint the whole time, you're gonna waste a lot of stamina. So I try to pulse the stamina and conserve it as much as possible. Even though the Metri's got excellent stamina, it's one of the things you need to definitely manage in a fight. Another thing I'm doing is when I'm healing up in between these little, in my rounds, as I say, is looking around for stuff that might try to third party. Anytime you're fighting something bigger and slower that's going to take a long time like this, that's the big risk, is starvation and getting third parted. So that's what I'm doing in a lot of these in between rounds here, is looking around, swiveling the camera all around, and looking at my surroundings and making sure there's not like a pack of Utahs or something that's going to get ready to come in and get a one bite kill or something after we get, you know, the whole fight almost over or whatever. This is where he just starts panicking and just starts running because he knew he was going to die, but we got the win. So that was the GG's. It was good to meet this player, and it was awesome to meet somebody that had seen my videos, and you know, I inspired him to play Metri, so that was really cool experience and a great opportunity to meet somebody new and to play with somebody like that. And they turned out to be a great player, and hopefully I get to play with them again soon sometime. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys, and it's the Metri versus the Torvo. And thanks for watching. Give me a like and comment if you have any questions or comments. Hope to see you out there in Gondor. Goodbye.